Hello? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? Nice. How's the audio? Like, are you guys deaf? Okay, good. Because I can hear myself, so I'm not sure like how good the quality of the audio is. Give me a second. Hang on, guys. Wait, I'm trying to do the ping here. Oh. Nolan, thank you for the sub. I don't have like Twitch. I don't have notifications set up here. So it's a bit of a rush setup. So y'all have to bear with me. So this is going to be basically what we're at, where we're at right now. But thank you for the sub. All right, I gotta let my Discord know, and then we will be good to go. Not gonna be a long stream, but it'll be long enough. I might be live coaching Boger later as well today. Mostly chatting though right now. I know there's gonna be a lot of background noise, so y'all just have to bear with me. I mean, you view my stream, so it's not like. Wait, why the frick? Why is it not letting me do a picture in my own Discord? What? Oh, there we go. There we go. Hang on, chat. I'm almost... See, all these other people are having all these technological difficulties. You guys make fun of me for being technologically illiterate, and yet I'm like the first one streaming, bro. I didn't get any help. Just probably the GOAT. Okay, I think we're good. Could recognize Spile in the group picture because he clearly got a pump before the photo's taken. That is not true. That is just literally how I look 24/7. I am absolute peak masculinity. Actually, just peak humanity, actually, in general. And you guys knew that already. We may or may not have a developer joining us in a second, talking about some map stuff. Gonna have to figure that out in a little bit. Coach, decrease the resolution. It's a little zoomed in. With what? I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, hello everybody. Time to leak everything. Oh, of course, naturally. Link didn't work? What link didn't work? Am I mewing in that photo? No, but I was mewing before. What link didn't work? The link in Discord didn't work. Oh. Frick. What is wrong with the link? You know where to go. Anyway. Right? Surely. Epic in bed fail on Discord. Really? Was that? Did it? How do you mess that up? It worked on Twitter. The game captured the menu is zoomed in. Oh! I see what you're saying. Yeah, like it's like her. It's the resolution is different. Yeah, that's odd. Hang on. Wait, can I even fix that? I think. Yeah, kind of. I can fix that. I think. said Spilo as he looked at the Bastion hero design. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. We're perfect. We're all good. Bro broke his mewing streak. Nah, see, I mewed prior in the morning. You get up, you mew for about 20 minutes. You commit some vehicular homicide, a couple of war crimes, eat an entire container of pre-workout, and you're ready to start your day. Hey, man. Like what you did to your house? Yeah, thank you. What are you showing us? So this is the sad part. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is the live game. Like, this is me. This is me, guys. Look, could it be anybody else that's at a Blizzard event in Diamond? So no, of course it's me. There's nothing to show. Yeah. Basically, I'm here to chat, maybe talk with a developer in a little bit, and then we might do some live coaching here with Boger later. I know he's doing something else right now, and then maybe we'll do some coaching. Now, I'm going to thank you for the sub. There's not going to be any noise. So when does NDA end? I have no freaking idea, bro. Why am I at Blizzard? Because I was invited to the Content Creator Summit. Connect. Can I make my face cam bigger? Maybe. How about I just move my face cam a little bit? Yeah, like down here. Is that better? Well, that would cover the hero profile. I'm just going to stick it here for now. I'll make it a little bigger. I don't want to make it too big. Has the same energy. This comments are really important. You quoted the wrong message, but I already know what message you commented. Please put the cam to the side. Where? What side, though? Laugh. Oh. No. Where do I go? Wait. No. Yeah, there we go. There. See? See? There. It looks like I'm inside a semi-truck. Well, no. I'm not inside a semi-truck. We have, there's, stations. And, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Right side over the news menu? I could do that. Why do I look like Metro in this setup? Bro, why you gotta violate me like that? Bro, you guys are scamming me. Where do you want me to put my face cam? Why? Where's the moody yellow lighting? Bro, that's daylight. You guys, I actually, the one time I don't have daylight and you're criticizing the lighting now? This guy doesn't even know what the sun looks like. What is that weird yellow light? That's the sun, you moron. That's the sun. The sun. You know the sun? You seen that before? The sun. You sound like I need a drink of water. I have water. I'm good. Oh, so it aligns with the carousel? Yeah, I got you. There you go. Close enough. You guys are crying that you had to open up Twitch to make the link work. Bro, you can literally go to my Discord notifications and just scroll up. Like, you just scroll up and go to the previous link. If this one doesn't work, how are you guys this dense? How? How are you doing this? Your hair looks dry and my biceps look smaller? It's because I'm actually wearing a shirt. Do you see these pecs? Wow, that Blizzard invited you, the well-known baby dropper. Yeah, you're the funniest guy. Yeah. Not having Twitch notifications for the stream turned on. Right, exactly. So I guess we could, what I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we could do, maybe we could do some Ask Spilo. Maybe we could do some Ask Spilo. Maybe we could do some live coaching. You guys drop your replay codes. And we could do some coaching like that. I worked hard on that joke. Yeah. Well, we can't all be winners. You look like Jake today. Wow. Not a Spilo stream without the Bible verse in the bottom right. True, actually. Spilo? Well, okay. Here's a question, Whiskey. Are you European? Are you European? Replay codes got reset yesterday. I mean, that's fine. You guys have more, right? Why am I at Blizzard? Lightwaves? How do you not know the answer to this? From Scotland. See, there you go. I'm Scottish. I have the most Scottish name of all time. I always joke about it. Jacob Scott Clifton. Hunter calls me Spillo. Yeah, see, Jane and Hunter call me Spillo. It's not good company. That's a joke. And regarding Jane, on Thursday. Total waste of time. Because you systematically ignore everything you say. Well, okay. Yeah, the official Blizzard thing. It's been really fun. Obviously, like a lot of NDA stuff, but in terms of hanging out with everybody, it's been really fun. Been able to hang out. Okay, so here's I've hung out with Boger a lot. Worked out with Boger a lot. Been hanging with SVB, Fitzy. Hanging out a lot with Fitzy. Played card games till way too late the last couple of nights in MLIS. Skiesti, and I've been having a good time. Dealt with Boger? Yeah, I dealt with Boger. Me and Boger worked out together, guys. It was it was a lot. It was the most testosterone at a Blizzard event ever. Yeah. So it was actually astonishing, really. Like I think we have the most testosterone ever. Yeah. How's the trip? It's good. I'm like unbelievably jet lagged and sleep deprived, but it's like one of those things where it's like it's like a couple of days. So it's like you burn the candle at both ends. You go home and then you sleep max. Did you guys Boger max or Spilo max? Both. It was like a Bilo max or Spoger. Our code sub only? No. We'll do like whatever in a second. So yeah. My maxing? I mean, everything is maxing. How can you're not even properly maxing if you're not maxing everything that you're doing. If you're not maxing, you're not maxing anything, if that kind of makes sense. So you max sleep, you max everything. Breath maxing. Yeah. Boger's language is rubbing off on Spile? Yes. A little bit. How many Blizzard devs are Mercy mains? Dried cow fetus. I don't know. That's a great question, Dried cow fetus. Who won at cards? I mean, who do you guys think? Who do you guys think is the greatest competitor of all time? Although I will say Fitzy is very good. Fitzy and I are like the perfect combo of like deviously, wickedly smart and suspicious. So obviously it was a duel. It was a duel of the epics. Really, it was beautiful. Yeah, I'm in Cali. Brain rot max by watching Spilo talks about maxing. Good afternoon. Hello. Boger. I didn't play cards with Boger. It was me and Fitzy and Imaliath, and we played with Karq 2 nights ago. Karq looked like he was about to die. He was so tired. And we played with Karq again last night, and we played with Warren, played with Bro You Whack, we played with Avery. It was good. Did they know you throw babies? No, they don't know that I throw babies. We've been able to keep that one quiet. TikToker. Shut up, Aspen. Absolutely friendless. Yeah, okay, fun story about Aspen. So first time chatter. You have the gumption to, the first thing you say is an insult. So Aspen, I interviewed Aspen a while ago. You guys remember that, right? Shine, thank you for the raid. I interviewed Aspen, and the first day we get there, and I'm like, Aspen, how are you? And she's like, oh, good. And I don't know who she talked to. It might have been, was it Warren? It might have been Warren. And she's like, who is, or SVB, maybe it was like, who is, she thought I was a TikToker, guys. She thought I was a TikToker. She says, you look like a TikTok boy. A TikTok boy. A TikToker, guys. I interviewed you. I've been in contenders with you for years. And she says, oh, you're a TikToker, right? That's it. Absolutely friendless. Aspen, dare I remind you who got killed last night in Mafia? A 1v1. And as suspicious as I am, you lost. You died. So, oh yeah, and also, true story, first night, again, later on, we're in line for food, and Aspen's gross, so she eats shrimp. And we're in line, and I'm right behind her. She tries to pick up a piece of shrimp. It falls out, hits the table, whatever. She takes the shrimp. It's not a stalemate. You died. It was a stalemate for me and Avery. You died. And she takes this nasty, gross little shrimp thing. It's like alive and breathing, you know, pulsating. And she puts it on my plate. And so I'm like, you know, okay, I'm going to take it. And I put it back on her plate. And then she proceeds to turn around to, I don't even remember who was behind us. Ew, Spilo took shrimp off the floor and put it on my plate. Like I'm some sort of degenerate. And yeah. I'm not eating. No. She's just, she lied. She's a liar. She is a liar. She calls me a TikTok boy, acts like I'm some sort of like degen for giving her food back, and then proceeds to accuse me all night long. Her and Imaliath, everyone was suspicious of me all last night when we were playing card games. I was constantly being accused. It was this way: I either won as the mafia guy in the card game we were playing, or I died first round because everyone just always voted to kill me. Every single round. It was me, and I won. I'm better. I was just different. I was different. She looked me in the eyes, and she looked you in the eyes, and she knew you better. And you're sitting there, and you're sweating, and you're trying to pretend that you're innocent, and you died. You lost. You lost. To me, as someone as suspicious as me, I beat you. There is no rebuttal. You also spelled it wrong, so shame on you. Thanks, Juicy. I appreciate it. What is that? Oh, I was going to say. TikToker throws shrimp at Aspen during lunch. I didn't throw the shrimp. Have I said hi to SK? Yeah. We got to hang out a lot yesterday. SK was popping off on... So first off, SK pretended to not be able to play foosball, and then we destroyed J3 and Ruben, Sargasm, and foosball. It was amazing. Absolutely annihilated them. It was like 10-2. We set it up. Then we won cornhole versus, we won cornhole. And then there was like this reaction speed test, and SK set the record with that one as well, which was good. How tall is J3 really? I'm as tall. Here's the thing. Being 4'3", right? Nobody ever goes up to me, oh, I thought you were taller. That doesn't happen. It's always like, oh, I thought you were shorter. So, you know, you set the bar really low, and it's like, I'm taller than a lot of these people. It's great. It's great. You're pretty tall for a midget. I am the tallest midget I know. But playing Overwatch? Yeah, well, I mean, right, like playing Overwatch is like the last thing I do right now. So, Jonathan, thank you for the sub. Thoughts on current political, economic state of the world? I don't have near enough power, so right now it's not doing so well. So, no, but height-wise, I'm like smack dab in the middle, except for whenever Reinforce is around. I don't even know if I could kiss Reinforce's sternum. One of the strangest uses of height I think I've ever described. We could have just, anyway. You're the top goat. Thank you, Finn. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't really know why I said it like that. I got to hang out with Dante a lot yesterday. Me and Dante had some good talks. How many intent creators were there? What does that mean? You could have used a lot of other things. Yes, that's true. Who is the GOAT Doomfist of all time? It's funny. I actually talked with Dante about this yesterday. And it's Dante, Hawk, Gushue. There was one other one he said as well. Maybe, was it Fearless? Yeah, there was a lot of discussion. Dante wasn't sure. It says different styles of stuff. Yeah, who's the funniest creator? Boger is, we had a great time with Boger. A lot of fun. Boger, I like to think that I'm the same in person as I am on stream. Pretty much exactly the same. Boger is pretty much exactly the same. Where are my sexy glasses from Twitter? I don't have them with me. It was just the first. It's just one picture I had on my phone because I don't have any pictures to use for notifications. So, how many OWL players there? It's me, Dante, Custa, Reinforce. I think that's mostly it. Maybe I feel like I'm forgetting somebody here. Yeah, Dante's Joe. Long live Bulgaria. Yep. Oh, just how many content creators you saw? A lot. Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks are here. It's been really, really fun. Without revealing anything, can you share your reactions to what they showed you? Good stuff. I don't want to do the whole, like, what was it, like a year ago? The classic where everyone came back and was like freaking like popping champagne bottles, and everyone's like, "Wow, now you're dooming afterwards." But it's good. It's good. Good stuff. I'm excited. I think like I feel like there's definitely an improvement in clarity of vision. Feels like, and the communication has like been like really top notch. So. Dude, true story though. This is not NDA. First night, we're there, and I'm sitting there, and Alec freaking Dawson comes up and introduces himself to me. He knew who I was. Alec Dawson knew who I was. He said he watched my videos. Alec Dawson. I didn't even know he was there. It was crazy. It was absolutely thrilling. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. So he actually sat there and talked about hero design and like balance stuff, and then I got to talk with another developer as well that night for like half an hour. Came up and introduced himself as well. But yeah, that was sick. That was super exciting. Hey Arietta, hope you're having a good time. Yeah, I am. But yeah, it was super. They're all so kind. Did you watch the tank rework video? Maybe. I know that he said he watches a lot of my videos. So, had to get to push my Rissa rework? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys. I'm not the type of guy to I think for me, it's always, you got to be respectful and you got to choose your battles. Not choose my battles, that's a bad term, but you basically, like, you got to prioritize because, there's, but everything that I've said on stream has been said here as well. Put it that way. Have you learned anything new behind the scenes that's changed your perspective on the game? Not really, no. Still positive. I think obviously season 9 is like been really good. A lot of things. I haven't really taken a look at the patch as much because obviously that came while I was traveling. So I have to go back and look at what they did with all the changes. I honestly really haven't really paid much attention to that. But overall, it seems okay. Do you think Ana is good or viable? I think she's received fewer buffs and benefited a little less from some of the changes. Idiari is boring? Yes. They saw the Pharah rework? I mean, I think the Pharah rework is great. I've been having so much fun with the Pharah rework on stream. A lot of fun. Do you think Ana is viable? Oh, we already answered that. If you get hired at Blizzard for hero design, would you take it? I don't think so. Must have known about the glass. Remove the glass. Yeah, that's the meme. Thank you for answering. Yeah, of course. I think Pharah rocket size not being tuned is crazy. Yeah, I think that would be something that they would have to look at here. But it's hard to say, like, yeah. I can't exactly figure out exactly how strong Pharah actually is versus people figuring out how to play versus her and play with her. It's like a, it's like a spectrum you got to figure out. The AoE explosion. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of new people. A lot of people introducing themselves, and I'm introducing myself. So the people I've just really never met in person, which has been really good. They want to improve counter players and not a priority. I won't, again, like no NDA here, but I do think that the team is like sensitive to like issues like that for sure. How quickly that ball is going to move is like, always the question, because there are, it is a live patch stuff. They're always introducing new content every season. So, I would love to see, I'm hoping to see things like the Pharah rework continue to like trickle into the game. So we'll see. But I've been talking a lot. Oh, I've been talking a lot with Yeatle. I had dinner with him the first night. But yeah, I've been talking a lot with Yeatle, and Yeatle's great. Really, really fun to hang out with as well. I appreciate it, Zafra. How quickly the ball is going to move. Ball speed buff confirmed. Yes. Ball will have 600% movement speed and will generate ult charge 100 times fast the normal rate. Yeah. So are Zen comps dead? I have no idea. I mean, I think that like probably certainly dead at like the pro level, because they were already moving away from Zenyatta. Teams are finding ways to like leverage more his right click and then more of the rush comp stuff. Is he dead in ranked? I don't know. I feel like the Zen health buff or nerf was understandable, but it did feel odd because I feel like it was more of a projectile size thing. Maybe that's a hot take, but like, and I haven't played enough with Zen to like really know, but I feel like it's a projectile size thing and not as much of a health thing, because everyone's like keep bringing up, oh, tank Zen, tank Zen, tank Zen. But if you think about it percentage-wise, he got less HP. 225 to 275 is proportionately less than 200 to 250. It's less. The quantity doesn't matter. It's the percentage increase. I think the one question would be breakpoints, which is a fair point. Maybe the breakpoints change from 275 to 225. That obviously is where I could be 100% wrong, but at least on paper on that one facet, it's not like he's significantly tankier compared to where he was prior to the patch. I think it's just now that Zen is actually meta, people are realizing that, wow, that extra 25 HP is really big. And that was, but it was even bigger prior to the patch. Yeah, I agree with the kick distance thing for sure, though. I think that was too far. Is this your first time in California? I was in California when we flew to Sydney in 2019. But yeah, this is my first time like actually like in California. And my first thing when on landing is like, wow, like this is like the prettiest location with the most people I've ever seen. Like it's really, really beautiful. But it is so crowded. Like it is like subdivisions when you're landing. It's like subdivision as far as a mile can see. Can I breathe? No. You walk around with inhalers. Want to read the new director's take? Probably not. Welcome to California. Thank you. Genji didn't get nerfed? Yeah. Some people still admit his damage plus Discord is the main pain point. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely like key thing here is like I hope to goodness that they still take a look at like nerfing things for tanks specifically. You know, I was talking about this with Yeatle. You know, just like how having a consistent buff or debuff for all debuffs applied to tanks specifically, and then adjusting HP proportionally feels like the easiest solution, especially considering the psychology of so many metal players, right? Not even bad players, just like average, above average players, where tank focus is such a psychological breakpoint for people. So without making that tank feel unkillable, you know. Because if you look at a character like Wrecking Ball, which is perfect with Yeatle, it's a character that does die quickly, but doesn't die quickly at all if you don't have the right comp for him, right? So you look at the amount of HP that he has, and then if you add Discord and Hack, the guy gets melted. If you don't have Discord Hack, the guy doesn't get melted. And I think like those are definitely some extremes that I'm always would love to see changed. But that's more of like a holistic thing, and you know, we'll see. And I feel like, you know, what they did with Sleep Dart is like, I mean, that's definitely something that we'd want to see with Discord. That's something that I would like to see with, I guess it's mostly just Discord. But there's certainly other debuffs out there that I'm forgetting. I don't know. Maybe probably nade duration as well would be something to look at. Hack is hard because Hack is already short enough as it is. Manual Hack. EMP is just a different animal. But yeah. DPS passive, right? Yeah, exactly. Actually, yes. Yeah, DPS passive, even just cutting that down to like 15% or something like that, like even just a token change like that would be something that I feel like would be worth toying with. Did you ask the devs while Fire Strike was not changed for Season 9? It is definitely something that I brought up, yeah. So they're aware of it. I don't know like what the plan is, but yeah, I definitely have brought that up. Along with some of the other things that I think have not been buffed to compensate as well. What's the plan for the stream? Mostly chatting. We might do some coaching. It's really just going to depend on like how. I'm just going to play it by ear. We might have a chat with, like I said, a Blizzard dev might be here in a bit. Map guy who's designed a lot of the maps. Been talking with him a lot recently. Just some of the breakfasts and lunches that we've had. So might be able to chat with him on some map stuff. Maybe some plans for the future, and just his general thoughts, because he's been involved in a lot of like the map design in the past, so talking with him might be fun. Why not make DPS passive harder to apply? I don't think that that's possible. I don't think that that's possible. But I do agree that if it's going to be something that is truly passive, it should not have a significant impact, because if it doesn't, it's not a cognitive choice to apply the DPS passive, so it shouldn't be something that you're like immediate. It should be more of like a background thing that helps to change some breakpoints without necessarily feeling too oppressive. You think your vision for the game aligns well with Blizzard? I think it's a little bit of both. You know, I think being here has been like, I obviously get to give my feedback, but it's also like the first thing I did when I was on the plane is I was writing down more than anything else when it came to feedback questions, so that I can provide my input on where like Blizzard's vision and where I think their vision should be, right? But also vice versa, where like maybe the way that I think about not the game, but like the balance philosophy. If there's like a difference between like what they think and what I think, then a lot of my feedback is just going to be totally wasted, right? So I'm trying to find out like what's the compromise here, right? If there's like I'm not like, if let's say they have a plan for like where they want, you know, easy heroes, or they don't want easy heroes, or they want every character to have a healthy skill curve, or they like mobility creep, or they don't like mobility creep. It's like trying to find out, like my goal is to try and find out like what's the gap here, right? So that when we were doing these rework videos, that it could be more productive, it can actually have an impact. So I'm not like sitting, for example, this is like kind of like why the 6v6 crowd, at least I think experimental 6v6 would be good, but like the 6v6 crowd loses so much is because it's like they're like purists, right? And it's a freaking video game, so it's wasted feedback, you know, because it immediately like gets tuned out, because it's just like, oh, it has to be this way. So I'm trying to not make sure that I'm not like that with like some of my like skill curve and mobility creep. But overall, I do think that like I don't think that there's like a gap between. I don't think that there's like a significant. I mean, it's been encouraging. I think like overall philosophy-wise, it's been good. It's been good. I will say that it's been good. Like I think like, you know, it's not gonna be perfect, you know. But I think it's overall been like positive, and I don't think that there's like a major gap between the way I see the game and the way they see the game, which has been good. Did I ask him about the glass? maybe if he comes here, we'll ask him about the glass. We'll ask him about the glass. The point of the DPS passive is to make sustained damage while securing kills, right? Is an advocate for mobility creep, yes. Yeah, for me, it's like I don't want to be an ass, but I also don't want to like compromise. You know, if I really feel like something's healthy, like I'm gonna push it. You know, respectfully is the key thing here. I really doubt they have a set in stone vision. It seems like they go with the flow. Yeah, we'll see. Shooting Hog and he actually dies. Yeah. What do you think about constant tank counter swaps in rank? I mean, I don't love them, for sure. It's not great. What about the glass? It's the meme. It's the Coliseo glass meme. Can you ask why in the world they decided to go with face of all orgs, not just in everything in your house at worst? Because they wouldn't have had the money for it. I promise you. I didn't ask them about that, but there's no money, and there's no money in it at all. Has there been any talk on the next map mode? I can't answer that, sadly. All of that, OW, think of the sub. I don't know like what's NDA and what's not, frankly, but I'm just gonna play it safe for now. Antarctic glass too. I did ask about that actually. I will say that there was some discussion around breakfast just like an hour ago. We talked a lot about Samoa and wasted space on Antarctica and Samoa, and it was like basically we kind of had it as like it's kind of a non-issue. You know, it's free real estate. It's not really that big of a deal. But it is kind of funny that, like, you know, I wonder how much development time is put on, like, little details like the Samoa beach tunnels, right, which no one's ever going to use, you know, and so on. But, yeah. I see a Blizzard developer. Maybe I can grab a Blizzard developer. Can I steal Gavin? Is Gavin? Gavin? If you got time, we are live, so do you want to scoot down, or I can scoot down? I'll actually scoot down. All right, here you go. Guys, That's actually true. That's actually true. Here you go. I don't even know if this mic is working or not, so let me make sure. We'll plug it up and we'll test.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Can you guys hear Gavin? I might have to add another audio source here. Try one more time.
I'm getting a no.
Maybe. Wait. Can you guys hear? Just say one more thing.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Just through Spilo mic. All right. How was that last one? Is it good? Good enough? No? Son of a gun. Wait, hang on. Audio input capture. Yeah, maybe we worst case scenario you can just have my mic, but yeah, it's a little good. Yeah, so there's something to do with this mixing here. Hang on. No, that's the volume.
I'll just keep saying words.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
One more time. Try one more time.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. We're getting input here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Shirley? It's doubled. Okay, well that's not what we wanted. Okay, try that one more time. Last one.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
Okay,
mic check.
there we go. Well, it's weird because mine is like here, and I think I had to turn yours all the way up for whatever reason.
Okay.
So I don't know. Turn it. Maybe it's the way it's turned. No, I don't think so. Okay, so this is Gavin Winter, and you want to kind of introduce. I think everyone's seen your stuff. I'm like.
Some people have seen me. Yeah, there's definitely people in chat that thought I'm Chips. I think they're trolling because they've said that in the past.
It's the Chip. Everyone looks like Chips. So that's okay. He's the Overwatch League GOAT, so that's a plus. But do you want to kind of introduce for those of you who don't know who you are and what you do?
Yep. So systems designer on the Overwatch team. I've been here about 3 years now. I work on things like social systems. So the first thing I ever worked on was the ping system, but like past that, most recently, the new competitive system is the thing that I've spent the most time working on. I was like the main designer on that, but just a designer. There's like a really big team behind that of coders and artists and UI designers and things like that. So mostly really happy with how that's gone so far. So
nice,
yeah, that's what I've been up to recently.
Sure. So the obvious question, which is the easiest low-hanging fruit, is like, how are you feeling about like the season 9, the rank changes, the overall going back to the SR system, the soft rank reset? I know something that I spoke with you about was like, why the rank reset? Is that going to be good? Is this a good time for it? And one of the things that you said was because it's fixing the bell curve, like the Bronze 5 GM1 problem.
Yep.
Do you feel like that's done that?
Yeah, we basically know we fixed that problem. There were a lot of things that happened alongside the rank reset that were like changes to MMR. So this let us like clean up a lot of the things that had gone wrong over the course of Overwatch 2, where like we'd had issues because of our MMR decay, which was causing us to do a lot of funky math, and that's why people were getting like put down in Bronze 5 too much. We really want that rank to be more like GM was,
right.
Where it's like actually it should be small.
Right.
And we want the middle of the curve, the average to be like gold 3-ish. Right now it's actually more like gold 4, gold 5, which is like the middle of the curve. But that's because of the decay that we did as part of the reset, and also the crunch that we did.
Sure. Okay. So, sounds good.
But the bigger question you asked was like, how do I think things have gone, or am I happy with it? I am happy with it overall.
Yeah, chat. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I mean, I know for me visually, it's something of like the dopamine of like actually seeing and the buffs, the debuffs of like win streak, or you should have won that. I forget what's the terminology called when you should have won the game but you lost, or you should have lost the game but you won.
I don't have those terms memorized. We've got reversal, we've got uphill battle.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's reversal.
Yeah. Okay. It's been good. I mean, I don't know how chat feels, but it's been really very, very nice, very enjoyable. I feel like something internally motivates me more to play.
Consolation is one of them. Consolation is the one where you get reduced penalty when you lost, but it was a harder team. If I remember correctly.
Right.
So
yeah. I think the transparency, like
that's a good point. The mic is sideways.
Oh.
Chat. I keep not using these very well.
I still think it's just something on this side because it's still like I'm still so much louder, but it is what it is. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, I think the transparency. I don't know of a game that's had this much transparency with anything that's to do with MMR SR. Is this like kind of new for first-person shooters?
I actually think it is, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to be the person that claims.
Yeah, of course.
That,
of course.
I will say this: I'm the sort of designer that looks at a lot of games and loves to borrow ideas. This is not one I borrowed from somewhere. So.
Right. Well, there you go.
But it is very possible that somebody thought of it first. That's how ideas work.
Yeah, of course. I think the whole concept of like, I mean, I remember back in Overwatch 1, and it was like, dude, there were so many threads. And that's why things like Elo Hell, especially in the first couple of years of Overwatch 1, were like such hot topics because there was so much that we didn't know.
Right.
And obviously, logically, it wouldn't necessarily make sense for something like Elo Hell. But it did give like credence to some of those claims because there's so much behind the scenes. And now it's like, man, it's hard to not feel like everything is out there to see.
We can do better. I think we can keep showing more. You know, there's little things like this person in chat saying, you know, that they got a win streak and their friends didn't. Like that's kind of like not really. That's because win streak isn't probably the best word to describe that. It's
right.
I don't know if you saw the thing with ML7, but I described it on that stream as like we actually call it internally win factor. It's like a window of games that we're looking at. So like in that person's example, the window of games that we're looking at was like long enough that they weren't considering those still part of the streak.
Yeah.
So like for them, they had more wins in that window, but then their friends didn't have those wins in that window. So like there's some complexity there that, you know, we tried to go really, like we're talking about really complicated matchmaking things in really short little sentences with those things. And we actually had a blog that did longer sentences that kind of explained more, and we should maybe put those in the game. Maybe the ones in the game should just be more detailed.
Maybe. But I think it's about taking all those complicated mathematical principles and actually communicating in a way that makes sense. Has to be like almost a challenge in of itself, besides just the systems. So I guess I got a question here. Gavin, what are some of your goals that you can talk about? Now, that is a huge topic, obviously, but I mean, maybe the ones that you could talk about, but maybe also the ones that you're most excited about talking about.
The ones, so there's the easy one, which is what you've already heard about at BlizzCon, but I'll just reiterate it because I am excited about it. Is like grouping restriction changes.
Yep. Got a question from that actually just as well, so that's perfect.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't notice that one. So, you know, we mentioned it at BlizzCon. This is a mistake that I made where I just like glossed over the fact that it wasn't Season 9. I was like, we're going to do all this stuff in Season 9, and then after Season 9, and that's all I did to seg you into the like the fact
right. And so everyone's
changes.
like, why isn't it in Season 9?
A lot of people thought they didn't hear me say after, so like they thought it was supposed to be Season 9. I really should have been like, and specifically not Season 9.
Yeah. People will pull you out of context. I mean, even me, like, I totally missed the bell curve thing with the Bronze 5 GM1 comment, and that totally skewed my perspective as well. So people are stupid, myself included.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of dense information we're trying to pack. Anyway, whatever. So that one, that's like super exciting for me because I think that like this is not a hot take probably, but I think Overwatch is best when you play it with friends. You know, a lot of people haven't been able to do that in competitive with their friends for a long time. And then also there are these other like high tier problems, like the GM problems. We definitely have a problem there right now where like we're seeing that, you know, we wanted to try this season to let the GM players stack, although we're in this awkward space because of the rank reset where a lot of our highest tier players would actually, well, not a lot, but a significant percentage would be champion, but they're still ranking up because they're overcoming the rank reset, so they're all kind of like battling it out in champion, which is not the way it would ultimately be. You know? So there's like these awkward growing pains about like large systemic changes like this that you know we wish weren't the case. I think we're still trying to decide if we like the stacking in GM for this season, and it's
makes sense.
You know, it would probably only be a this season thing.
Makes sense.
Just to try to, we haven't done it in so long.
Makes sense.
And GM is, the definition of GM has changed.
It feels like it has to be hard too, because it's like such a small percentage of the player base, but it's such a vocal, you know, majority when it comes to like content creators.
A very disproportionately visible percentage of the player base too,
exactly.
Because so many of them are streamers, and so many of them are like, you know, visible through social media.
Of course, makes sense. What's a change you've made that you think is underrated? Maybe something back in the day, maybe something that we don't even know about, or not obviously.
I'll say it because I'm actually still trying to do more with it, but I think we've done a lot for stomps with group respawn in quick play only. So like the group respawn system is like we have data on stomps, and the way that we define a stomp internally is we think about death rates. There's not an easy way to define it because a stomp could be a really, really fast set of captures on something like push, and maybe it's actually a super short round, like short and bloody. But like the ones that we think the ones that feel the worst are the ones that where there's like a significant difference in deaths. Where like where you see like a 2-to-1 death ratio or like a 3-to-1 death ratio between the winners and losers. And so our data shows us that group respawn has made a really significant difference for that in quick play. So that's one I would like to push further. Because what we did initially was pretty conservative. We didn't, like, a lot of people don't even feel it. I saw posts on social media after we released it, and they're like, is it even on? You know, like people don't even notice.
That's good.
That is good.
That's great.
It shouldn't be a thing that feels, you know,
intrusive.
Feels like it's happening all that often. But that's one that I think, like, you know, when Overwatch 2 came out, and for quite a while after, we've had a lot of complaints about stomp. So we kind of created this task force internally to think about like what are all the directions that we
Right.
can. And there's a lot of different things we're still considering that could make it better. But that's one of them that's been really like barely kind of noticed. But I think I'm personally seeing less complaints about stomps. Now, obviously, Season 9 changes that because we do a rank reset. We squish people on the curve. We get less match quality, or get lower match quality because we push people in, and so therefore we actually do have more stomps in competitive specifically.
It's hard with 5v5 too. I think that's one of the things, I think obviously I've been a little bit of a 5v5 advocate. I do like it. I think it's healthier for the game. It's a long discussion, but
that's a big one.
But it does mean that there's a lot more responsibility on a player to perform or to carry, and certainly one bad player is going to snowball things. And so like with quick play, you don't have to worry about the competitive integrity as much. What's going to feel good, what's going to feel bad. Makes sense. Some questions, I guess, about quick play hacked. I don't know if that's up your
I haven't worked on. I really
alley.
didn't work on quick play hacked at all, but I've kind of paid attention to the conversation around it. I know that we're not super happy with like the way the last one went.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll probably change things in the future. I don't know in what direction exactly.
Sure.
And I'm not close to those conversations.
Of course, makes
to really
sense.
Have that,
Makes sense.
Have that insight.
Makes sense. You guys have any other questions? Guys, maybe a question. Do you think people are exploiting the system currently? Boy, that's a broad question.
Which one?
Do you think people are exploiting the system currently?
Exploiting the competitive system?
I guess, sure.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess if you're referring to like GM stacking, we allowed that, so that's not exploiting. If you're talking about like playing in GM stacks.
Sure.
We're looking at data and we're thinking that the thing the community probably already knows about that one specifically, that we're seeing that the win rate of those stacks is probably higher than we would like it to be.
Sure.
So what that means is like our win rate predictions for those stacks aren't as accurate as they should be.
Right.
And so like basically if that's what they're asking about, then like
I think it's just in general something about like min-maxing at these higher ranks. Like what's the highest way to climb or the fastest way to climb?
Prior to Season 9, the highest way to climb or to like stay high, and that we saw a lot of people exploiting, was like being the maximum distance apart in GM, for example, because and often when they were doing that maximum distance, they were doing it in a very insincere way where they had like a person that was ranked GM4 but wasn't actually GM4, so they're actually
makes sense.
Like kind of breaking terms of service,
makes sense.
smurfing.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel like I guess maybe that's just more of an issue that like as the rank reset kind of settles, will hopefully settle down as well, because you have a lot of people in Masters that maybe aren't Masters and vice versa.
I think Season 9 helps it some, but actually it's still a problem, and that we've got stuff coming in the future that is like directly addressing that.
Sure. Okay, yeah, great question here. Any surprising info? So obviously there hasn't been a ton of statistics, but is there anything since Season 9 that has been like, oh, that's interesting, or that's good to know, or we weren't expecting that?
I guess I'll just say the basic one. We're super surprised it went as well as it did. Like when you release a big rank system like this, obviously the last time we did it with Overwatch 2 launch, it was kind of a disaster.
Right.
And a lot of things went wrong. A lot of things weren't predicted well. So we're just happy that we do have some bugs. Like we're aware of some bugs. We've seen some bugs with like the and we're fixing them. We're fixing all the ones we know about. Anyway,
right.
Where there's like little issues where the rank progress bar doesn't update correctly after you demote or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But like in terms of those are just technical issues. I'm trying to think of like the most. I guess I'm surprised that people are both enjoying the modifiers and they aren't asking for a lot more information yet. So that was one of the things that as a designer, I was wondering about. Was like, if we give people more information, but we're still not giving you perfect information because you're not like seeing all the math and numbers behind the scenes. Where do people stop asking for more information? Where do they? Like,
right.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of like a Pandora's box sort of situation where once you open it, we can't close it. We're not.
No, you can't take it away. There are some things that were taken away moving into Overwatch 2 that people are never gonna let you forget about. Like, oh, you took this away, now you're bringing it back in, and so it's like, absolutely, that makes sense.
So I guess I'm surprised we haven't got like a lot more requests for information yet. We still do plan to give more, and it's very likely we're going to add more modifiers to capture data in a better way. Like we thought of one recently that is technically, it would fall under the umbrella of things we classified as modifiers, but we don't show it. It's only a thing for very high ranked players, really.
Makes sense.
And so we probably want to start showing that one in the future. So we'll probably keep adding to that.
Sure.
But, I guess I'm sort of surprised that nobody's been like, whoa, this is not nearly enough. I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that it's
Sure.
But
Makes sense. We got some questions about can you tell who's in a group and who's not? Is that something that you guys have ever thought? tell who's in a group. Everyone's using the invite a group
Well-
option for this. Shows who's stacked with whom.
Yeah, we know on the data side like all the grouping behaviors.
Right, right. But I guess to the public, is that something that?
Oh, yeah. So there's actually a huge problem there, and I think most people are aware of it. Like the using the invite function to like figure
Yeah.
out who's grouped. Like,
Yeah.
Yep. Totally aware of that one.
Yeah.
Definitely
People will
should
find
do
a way.
something about that because it's hiding who's grouped right now is actually totally pointless given the way that system works. Because
Right.
it's like, well, not totally pointless, almost totally.
Almost
pointless.
totally place. Okay.
So yes, that needs improvement. I think that might be the sort of thing we would consider doing once we start doing our narrow matchmaking.
Sure.
We might be willing to show groups in that.
Sure.
But it just doesn't make sense to do it like we have it right
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Last question for you because I don't want to monopolize your time.
now. Sure.
Any detail, fun little thing, teaser for what's to come in the next 6 months potentially? That any system that you're involved with?
Oh man.
Is there anything?
Detail, fun teaser. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this one.
No worries. No worries. If not, it's fine.
Yeah, because it's like hard to say like what might be spoiled or.
Sure,
what I'm
sure,
not allowed to
sure,
talk
sure.
about. Oh man, I don't have anything great for you.
Sure, sure.
You know, I guess we're thinking about. I will say this.
What are
We're
some things
thinking
you're
about
aware
making
of?
the experience better for our high ranked players.
Makes
Because,
sense.
That's the sort of thing where I won't dive deep into it, but like
Of course.
what we have right now is we have an experience that is kind of incomplete
Yep.
for top 500 specifically, and so we're thinking a lot about how we can do that better.
Okay, makes sense. Well, Gavin, I appreciate your time. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you to Gavin, putting in all the work and then also communicating it as well. It's been a breath of fresh air to say the least. So appreciate your time.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Well, you guys heard it. There will now be a new rank on top of champion called the GOAT one. Gavin's confirmed it. It sure, yeah, makes sense. Time similar. Yes, absolutely. You also, you know, you gotta make some noises as well. So okay, we'll turn that. Yeah, sorry for the mic, y'all. I there's nothing I can do on my end. There's only one audio input source from both mics combined. So yeah, something to screw with that. And I had him on this little mixer thing here, and I had it like cranked to the max. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, as long as you guys could hear what he was saying, I don't really care about the quality. I mean, if you're watching me, you're not watching me for quality anyway, so let's be real. But yeah. Call it the Spilo rank, but below bronze. I've been trying to give any input on balance or Rubik's to any devs. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Had several conversations with a lot of different developers. One of the things that's important to remember, I know some of you guys were asking some questions that I skipped over. Not because that your question was bad, but because your question is misplaced, and Gavin doesn't have anything to do with that necessarily. So it's important to remember that like the developers have different jobs, right? They have different things that they're involved with and other things that they're not involved with at all. So if I ask Gavin like, hey, remove the glass, he's not a map designer guy. So that's not going to be his decision. It might not even be anything that he knows anything about. So. About the GOAT 1 rank. Yeah, the GOAT 1 rank, yes. It's only one person, so. What are your thoughts on the decision to buff Zarya with very fast with the hotfix and leave Symmetra out to dry? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have not looked at the patch notes, nor have I looked at all the reasoning, so it's been odd. I know that I'm, like, talking with the people that helped with the patch notes, but because I wasn't always 100% aware of what the patch changes were, I wasn't able to, like, talk as much about it. So it's been kind of like, might have some time today to discuss it. Never talked to the map designer? Yeah, many times. Several times, actually. And he's not here right now. But if he's here in the next 20 minutes, we'll maybe snag him for a few minutes. Yeah. What is my opinion about Decay? I don't know enough about the matchmaker system. So the reason I had Gavin here is because Gavin is like my blind spot, basically. That's probably what I know least about Overwatch is like the matchmaking and all that kind of stuff. That's always been something that I've not really... Map stuff is a little bit more comfortable for me, and then obviously like hero stuff is like the big thing I focus on. What's my biggest goal being there? Just making connections, just getting to know people more than anything else. The content creators, developers, stuff like that. I think trying to prioritize that over anything else. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. I just want to actually get to know people, and so, yeah, that's been my priority. I guess I can shrink the face cam back to normal size here now. And it's been, I think, overall a success. New collab soon? Yes, actually. We might be live coaching Boger today. Boger asked me for some coaching stuff, so maybe we'll do some coaching today. And if not today, even if today, we might do more in the future. A couple of the stuff we might do as well moving forward. Who's my favorite person I've met? Oh, that's like a big question. Let's put it this way. Somebody that I didn't know as well and I've gotten along with really well, I would say Fitzy and Boger. And I guess Skiesti as well. Gotten along. We've had a good time. SK as well, actually, really. Yeah, Boger came up to me and he was like, you know, there's like a lot of games where it's like, you know, I feel like, you know, I could be playing better, but I'm not really sure what I need to be doing. And so we'll take a look. He requested a little bit of roast coaching as well, so we'll see how it goes. How big is the group of people invited to do these things? I posted a picture on Twitter. I don't know, like 40, 50, something like that. It's like a very rough estimate. Can link if you want. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I don't know if we'll talk too much in depth with the director's take, but we can at least see if there's anything worth talking about. That's coaching there. Coaching Boger will be so much fun to follow with. Yeah. Boger is exactly like he's like over the internet. Exactly the same. Thank you. Short king in the front. Listen, buddy. Right, let's pull this up here. Did they just sort by sub count or how are creators? I'm not really sure what the creator selection thing is. I think that they try to get a variety of people with different skill sets. So, not sure. Not sure. Let's, yeah, we can take a look at this really fast here. Window capture. Yeah. Yeah, we could do this. Let me move things down so you guys can still see me. Who's bigger, me or Boger? Boger's bigger than me. I actually might be taller than Boger. Or at least the same height. He outweighs me by like 30 pounds. But I'm no spring chicken. And he's a big boy. He's like 210. But we're by far the biggest people here, muscular-wise. We were pumping iron yesterday morning. Well, Boger is more bulkier than I am. I'm more cut. I do more. So it's like apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much Boger lifts. He was doing like cable stuff with triceps, and I was doing my biceps and shoulders, and I was doing plyos, and I was walking, and yeah. Who would win in a foot race? I mean, I don't think there's anybody involved with Overwatch that would beat me in a foot race at all. I am very fast. I will say that. J3 is taller? No. J3 is shorter. Although the real question is, people were BMing me on YouTube, man. People was like, who would win at a wrestling match? He's got 30 pounds on me, but I have grappled much bigger people than Boger. You guys got to understand the MMA buff is real. Grappling is my specialty. So that would be a fight to remember. Thank you for the sub, you two. Anywhere in the Colossal Glass? No, the map guy is not here. So sadly, I don't know if we'll have. Yes, Boger versus Spilo would be a wrestling match to remember. Bro, I grappled some. It was like a 350-pound, 6'3", 6'4" dude. Once you do that, anything's easy. Now the guy was not very technical, so it was somebody who's technical that size. Like size matters so much in that regard. But when there's a gap technique, you can compensate a lot. You'd win the content creator battle. Yeah, I'd win the content creator battle royale. I think I'd win the Overwatch battle royale, Overwatch League battle royale as well. As long as there's no weapons involved. Weapons, it's tricky. I do have some sword tech practice, but yeah. You could beat Tyson in a fight. Oh, easy. No, I think I'd beat Kalush. Kalush is probably like 220, 230. Hottie would crush me. No, Hottie's very strong, but I'm telling you, you'd have to be so much bigger to make up for the technique. Awkward to pull out the Krav Maga? Yeah, maybe. Hydran? No, Hydran might know jujitsu, but he's also a little smaller than like Boger. He's like 185, 190, I would guess. What do you bench, squat, deadlift? My max. So I haven't committed for full maxes in a long, long time. Literally 10 years. But I've been part of the 1,000-pound club. So I benched, I want to say 270 or 280. I think it was 280. 280 bench. Deadlift was 430. And squat was, I think, 380, 390. Break parallel. Booty to the floor with squat as well. But I've had a lot of issues with my last vertebrae on my tailbone. So I actually have to be really careful with back squat weight. And I generally have to do trap bar deadlifts. It's an old football injury, so. No one in Al's trained. Yeah, no one in Al's trained. Yeah, it's just a life hack, you know. If any of those guys train, yeah, a hottie who would train for as many years as I have would be terrifying. Same thing with Kaluj. Proper would crush me, true. Yeah, bench is probably my strongest lift just because, at least proportionally, because it's the one I was able to train consistently. Because of the injuries to the tailbone. So, have you made music with Fariha yet? No, we were talking about that the other day. How much is that in kilograms? Yeah. Like cut it. Like there's gonna be a. I know it's a little bit less than half in kilos. Flats is really big. Flats is huge. Flats would be a really hard one, I will say. Flats is like very tall as well. He's not only big, he's super tall. He's like I hung out with Flats. I told you guys, back in Boston days, he used to work for Boston and Uprising Academy, and we watched one of the Boston Overwatch League things at the live event together, and then he towered over me. He's like 6'4". He's huge. If you could get some of his lower abilities, I don't know. What are you doing there? New Avatar just came out. Just go watch it. No. VO2 max exercises. No, I don't do a lot of like AMRAP stuff. I don't do a lot of cyclical stuff. I train almost exclusively speed and power. I don't even do cardio. My cardio is almost exclusively either sport, walking, or lifting. I don't do any cardio. I eat, I find the calories I need to eat for the amount of activity. I walk around 30 minutes. I try to aim for like 6,000 to 7,000, 8,000 steps per day if I can. I would love to do more, but just with the nature of my job, I don't do as many. And then a lot of like max power stuff, low rep stuff. Almost never go to failure. It's just what I'm training for, right? It's not necessarily, that's not a great way to necessarily build muscle, but I'm not really concerned about building muscle right now. I have almost as much muscle as I need to. I focus more on athletic stuff because that's what I train for right now. Have you tested my vertical? Not in a long time. I don't even remember what it was. My vertical's okay. It's probably not as high as I'd like it to be, and it's something that I'm still training, but it's good. It's good enough for a white boy. Yeah, rock climbing is a totally different animal. Rock climbing, those guys are some of the most niche-specific, insane athletes ever. Rock climbing is something that I probably would have been better at back in the day. Back is probably one of my strongest muscles, but my grips aren't as strong as they need to be. So I could do pull-ups with full all-the-way range of motion, full pull-ups. I think I've done several. I could do 2 or 3 with 100 pounds. At some point, I would love to double my body weight and do a pull-up with just to say that I did. But pull-up really, really strong back, but my grips are actually not that strong, which is odd. Stream from the gym soon? Maybe. But yeah, I'm all in the speed and power stuff. Low rep, full, very heavy weight. I do weird stuff like ankle isometrics, right? With like, I'll have Beth Pepper literally jump on my back and I'll like bend my knee, stiff ankles, you know? It's all about speed for me. What leg exercises do you recommend without squat rack? Squats are always good. Bulgarian squats, lunges are good. Those are all fine. Yeah, I would love to get into rock climbing maybe down the road. It's one of those things that maybe down the road we'll get in. Bulgarian squats are brutal. Bulgarian squats just freaking suck. They hurt. Yeah, ankle isometrics are not weird. Well, okay, they're rare. I do it for ankle stiffness because, like I said, I train for speed. So the reason I train for speed a lot is because I've always loved speed, but also because when I compete in flag football a lot, and I am the rusher, basically for for lack of a better explanation. I do a lot of receiver work as well, but not during competition. Basically, I'm the guy that rushes the quarterback throwing the ball. So I start a certain, and my job is to get there as fast as I can. And then usually at higher levels, the quarterback's extremely athletic, very fast, can run. And so you not only have to hurry them, but you also have to make sure that they don't tuck the ball and just run. So you have to be really good at quick stops and starts, usually go in really hard, break down really hard, and you have to beat them one-on-one. And that's my strength. In a one-on-one, I can beat anybody. They will not get past me. That's the goal anyway. So that stuff is really important for me. Yeah. What resources do you recommend for learning what you need to get started building muscle? I think Jeff Kaplan, oh my gosh, Freudian slip. Jeff Cavalier is good. Who's the one guy? Jeff Kaplan. That's NDA. Jeff Kaplan. No, I'm just kidding. Jeff Kaplan, guys. Jeff Cavalier. Who's the other guy? I'm actually so tired right now. I'm literally, my brain is blinking. Who's the one YouTuber? The short guy. The short guy. Who's the short guy? Jeff Nippert. I think Jeff Nippert's got a lot of great content as well. I think the big thing with building muscle is like anything else is just start really small and be consistent and focus on form. Like you really don't need that much to start building muscle like immediately. If you worked out, did weightlifting like 15, 20 minutes a week, like 2 times a week, like legit 2 times a week, just did a couple of bicep curls, looked up good squat form and got some 10 pounders and did some squats and did like 4 or 5 sets, 5 or 6 reps. Like that's it. Like, and you just did that, like you're going to be cooking, you know? So it's like, I think it's really easy to overwhelm yourself with weightlifting, but because it's like a very bro culture kind of a thing, but you really don't. Like I've been weightlifting for 13 years. You don't really have to start. You can't really even build muscle all that fast either. I think about the fastest that you can build muscle naturally is about 2 pounds a month, and that can be that requires like really good environment. So you're talking about like 2 pounds of muscle a month is, that's going to take some time, Athletes have no idea how important isometrics is. Yeah, absolutely. Stiffness is so important. Stiffness is underrated in terms of like the strength of your tendons. Being powerful is almost exclusively your ability, CNS and stiffness of your joints. And so quickness and stuff like that. Hey, Edgelord. So yeah, Jeff Kaplan build. He left Overwatch to do MMA. Yeah, I hear Jeff Kaplan's going to be wrestling Mark Zuckerberg. So... But yeah, there's probably people out there that could recommend better YouTubers, but I will always back up any YouTuber that has a simple, not complicated, healthy way of approaching weightlifting from a beginner standpoint. And there's like infinite ceiling, but you just start small. PGF performance. It sounds familiar, yes. 2 pounds a month sounds fast. It is very fast. Well, it's very fast unless you're like, there's a lot of people out there that will be like, oh, he gained like 5 pounds of muscle in a month, and it's not muscle. So it's like if you don't know a lot about weightlifting, 2 pounds a month might sound a little slow, just because of some of the misinformation out there. But yeah, the stiffer the better. Is it being unable to walk out of the gym after leg day too much? Yes. I mean, it depends on what you're training for, right? Like, if you're training for hypertrophy, what's the other term? The pump. What's the pump thing called? There's like a scientific term for it. But yeah, probably not. Like, especially for the kind of stuff that I'm training. Which is more speed and power related. I don't really train to get sore ever. And I do get sore sometimes, mildly sore, especially if it's like a new exercise but generally I don't even aim for, you shouldn't aim for soreness, right? Depending on what you're training for. Hypertrophy, well no, there's one other term. Hypertrophy, power, strength, I don't remember. Jeff Nippert, science and everybody. Yeah, I think like at this day and age with the amount of studies out there, like you should be, if you're a fitness YouTuber, you need to be having some sort of science out there. There's so many studies out there. Squat University. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff out there. But hypertrophy is tricky because it's like if you're training for strength and power, it's not a goal, right? You don't necessarily want to be fatigued, but hypertrophy is what makes you feel like you've done hard work. So sometimes it's odd, some of the workouts I do where, I'll feel like I haven't even worked all that hard. Like I'm not even that tired, and I'm not even that sore, or I don't have a pump, but that's just the nature of things. I think you mean hyperplasia. Nah, I forget what it is. I booked a coaching call and will be in 4 days. You will see me at confirm. Yeah, I'll reach out to you the day of. Yeah, I think information overload is a big gatekeeper, excuse me, not gateway. So now you're good. Yeah, it's all about volume. It's all about volume and quality of volume. I've been sniffing around with max clusters. I forget what they're called, which is basically like really low rep, high set stuff, where you take you do 2 or 3 reps, sometimes even more, away from failure, and just do more sets, cluster sets, I think. Yeah. So it's been good. Sprinkles, thank you for the sub. Olips, yes. Olips. Do you try any stamina-related sports competition? No. So I train for my sport with speed, plyometrics. I walk, I eat, and then my conditioning is my sport usually. And I find that conditioning is almost never an issue with what I'm doing. Even with the frequent, I'm sprinting every single play when I'm playing football, and it's usually not an issue at all. I mean, you do get tired, but when my ceiling is raised, and the floor is raised too. So, and as long as you're eating well and sleeping well and relatively active, I don't need to train my cardiac, essentially, abilities as well. My aerobic capacity is not really ever an issue. No, hey, Zanzibar. No, you're fine, Zanzibar. By the way, Zanzibar is my Swedish aunt. She's not my Swedish aunt. Train explosiveness with plyometrics, yeah. I guess at this point now we're kind of moving past the director's take. We only have a few more minutes till the next block of streams, and somebody's going to steal my freaking computer, so... Swedish aunt. How can I squat without raising the back of my foot? I find myself only being able to squat doing it only, and it usually is bad. Probably a flexibility issue. What I would do whenever you have a flexibility issue during a lift is just go to where you can go comfortably without compromising your form, even if it's not even parallel, and just keep pushing the limits there, especially with lighter weights. Just push the limits and try to work on your flexibility with the lift. I would not necessarily try and stretch too much. I wouldn't worry as much as stretching. Let your lift be your stretch with as full of a range of motion as you possibly can with lightweight, and your flexibility will improve through the lift as long as you're pushing those limits. Yeah, pushing the leg slightly wider help. Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of stretching comes from while you are lifting. You push the limit, full range of motion stuff is good. No, I think stretching is kind of stretching is one of those things where I think it is beneficial. I think it's both underrated and overrated. I think it's one of those things where a little bit of stretching is always going to be good. I think the most important thing when it comes to flexibility though is doing everything that you do in full range of motion under duress. And then if you can't quite do full range of motion, just keep pushing it. Lightly, push it. But I think if you were to try and sit in a squat for 6, just stretch, you'd probably improve your squat more if you just slowly pushed your squat depth with lighter weight instead. But yeah, sit on your heels, sure. But yeah, a lot of ankle flexibility issues with deep squats. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. We are just chatting. We've got a few more minutes, and then I think the next session. Stretching post-workout also helps you not lose flexibility and mobility from gaining muscle. Yeah, please ask the devs consider solo cues. I think they're aware of that issue, Blinky. I think they're aware of that issue. We had Gavin on earlier, and I think so. What's the juice? So much juice. Bro, they had mocktails last night. We had some outdoor thing. And one of the mocktails was grapefruit juice, lime juice with an orange slice. And there was some other crap in there as well. It was ginger beer. It was really good. It was really freaking good. Speaking of juice, it was so good. Mind fixing your other mic before Boger gets on? Well, I'm going to be going to Boger's station. So, and that'll be a little bit later. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me, we'll probably be at Boger when Boger's streaming a little bit. I'll be with Boger. So if you guys want to see a little bit more, I don't know when he's streaming. I think it's either in an hour and a half from now, I think. Were the donuts good? I didn't have any donuts. I'm too much of a health nut. Finna be yoked? Yes. Yeah, ginger is underrated. I think ginger is more one of those flavors that the best way I could describe it is refreshing. I can understand people that don't like ginger. I didn't like ginger as much when I was a kid, but as you get older, the spiciness it's very refreshing. Hello from Awkward Stream. Hello, Pro Hunter. Raid incoming. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we'll talk for just a few minutes. Awkward. Thank you for the raid. Awkward. Thank you for the raid. We were just talking about working out and lifting and you know, grind set stuff. So I appreciate the raid. I am live at the Overwatch Summit, Content Creator Summit. And we had Gavin Winter, systems lead designer for Blizzard, here just a few minutes ago. So if you guys want to go back in the stream VOD, you will be able to listen to some of the changes and some of the discussion around some of the rank changes as well. So I appreciate the raid, Awkward. So we've been all over today. We've talked about some patch stuff. We talked about some of the Gavin. We talked a lot about some of the system designer stuff, matchmaking, rank, all that kind of fun stuff. And then coincidentally, we've actually been talking a lot about lifting the last 20, 30 minutes as well. So I don't know how much longer I'll be live. We are on stream blocks here. So I might only be live for a little bit longer. Maybe we'll find somebody to raid afterwards. Spylo stream is on the official Overwatch Grind Set stream. Spylo in and out while in Cali. No, J3 got some in and out last night. J3 actually got 8 in and out with his Uber driver. It's really nice. He was chilling with the guy and he's like, hey, do you want some, they just chilled. So yeah, J3's was chilling out. So yeah, damage rate, yes, damage, always damage. Even more so now than ever. Spylo plus Awkward collab soon, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll do a push-up contest, or we'll talk about all the benefits of fitness and maybe fitness and beginners for gamers. I actually, true story, I had a collaboration with, I fell through because he got way too busy. Well, we both got way too busy, but I actually had a personal trainer for gamers. We had a big collaboration planned about a year ago for intro weightlifting and intro movement for gamers, and which fell through, which was really unfortunate. And that's something that I'm actually still planning on doing, either with somebody else or by myself, because I think it's really important. Coach versus coach bugs would be nuts. No, Awkward would absolutely dumpster me. Awkward's actually good at the game. I have not played seriously for a long time. We had that discussion live on stream. He was telling me I need to do an unranked GM, actually get the Grandmaster again. And, maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Maybe we'll do that at some point. I would love to say that I got the Grandmaster again now. I don't feel like it would be too hard, considering I'm still Masters now. But yeah, we'll see. Workout streams, maybe. I've had a lot of requests for workout streams, but I think you guys would be bored with my workout streams. There's not a. It's very much there's the moves are fun. What I do is fun, but it's very Maverick. I told you, I guess the stuff that I do is different. So, it would be sprinting, and then it'd be 4 or 5 sets of back squat or trap bar deadlift, some plyos. It would be weird. The good news is there'd be a lot of time to talk between sets. Not a lot of heavy breathing. Awkward coaching Spylo the Grandmaster, huh? I mean, that would be fun. I think Awkward's really freaking good at coaching the characters that I like the Zen and Ana stuff. So, Gold Roll Challenger Doomfist, maybe. I don't know if I have the patience to grind Doomfist to Grandmaster. Maybe that, but I did have a lot of fun playing Doomfist. Finger stretching guide for pros incoming. Yes, if you're gonna do an unranked GM, do it on a non-fresh account. Maybe. I would like to just do it on my main, and I wouldn't want to do an unranked GM. I would probably just take my main account and just push my main account to Grandmaster. Do you think working out, increasing general health can help you improve at games? Yes. I think it's probably a little overrated in terms of it's not going to make you aim better necessarily, but what it will do is it will dramatically improve your consistency because it's a huge way to improve your mental health, right? And we talk about your ability to stay focused and not tilt and to be more confident. And I think that all those things are ironically benefit significantly from physical health, right? So, I do think that some of the, even in Overwatch League, when we talk about someone like Hadi, who put a lot of emphasis on his physical health, and it translated in game, his ability to kind of control his emotions and be able to bounce back from adversity, and that comes from physical health. And also even if it literally didn't help your video game stuff at all, it's still something that it's just non-negotiable. You at least need to be active, Awkward Ana coaching the SVB video. Bronze Dean, what do you get with Doomfist in the new? I managed to squeeze out Diamond before we ran out of time with the season update. but I was winning a lot of games. I think realistically, my Doomfist was probably close to low masters level at the very end, which was still like that's by far the lowest that I've been on any character, even with some of the Sombra rework. But you know, it is what it is. I was surprised. I'm planning on making a video about it, actually, discussing some of the stuff here. Helps with fatigue and attention for sure. I think a lot of that also is correlated with diet as well. I do have a collaboration with a couple of unnamed parties, which we'll talk about in the future, about health, mental and physical. So you guys stay tuned with that. That will probably be about a month before it's finished, because I'm working with a couple of people, but that will be super fun. Would I coach SVB for one of his long videos? Yeah, I'd be done. I think the thing with SVB as well is because I'm not really known for one hero, because I do all the heroes. I think that's one that it kind of doesn't compromise the content, but people are going to want to see Jake Junkrat. People are going to want to see awkward Ana, you know, so kind of being like, you know, being in the middle of the road is good for what I do, but it does make for not quite as succulent and juicy content like Spylo Roadhog coaching. It's like, wait, Spylo Roadhog? Why not 6 or Harblu, you know? What hinders a coach in playing themselves? Mechanics consistency? Mostly just for me, it's always been playtime. Even the mechanics aspect of it is like, I was bronze mechanically. Like, I'd never played a first-person shooter before, and by the time I finished, my mechanics were really good for where I was at. I was in like mid-low GM, and mechanics were not a problem, and I was still improving consistently. It would have easily hit top 500 if I'd put in the time. There's nothing physiologically different with me, just time and preference. I don't want to put in the time. I don't have time. I have other things that are priority. So yeah, it's exclusively playtime for me. Exclusively playtime. Argue over which Stoic philosopher is the best. How many grams of protein have I had today? Not many. I've only had around 30 today. Mostly fruit for breakfast. Some of the stuff they had, I had for breakfast was like I wasn't able to eat as much, but yeah. Have SK coach me? Yes. Coping about not being old? Yeah, shut up, Eridu. So time about executing. Well, I climbed the Bronze to Grandmaster in about 1 year. It took me about 1 year to climb from Bronze to Grandmaster, from literally being Bronze skill level. Time is about executing things automatically without thinking. Right, so that's the key thing is people will look and they'll not be surprised at my mechanical badness, but they will be surprised at my decision-making badness. But remember, the ability to analyze things, teach, communicate, and explain things and mentor people is a different skill set for being able to make those decisions in real time. That's the difference between knowing and skill, knowledge and skill. And that's where like I will do a lot of, any decision that I can slow down, I could do fairly well. Any decision that I can't slow down, I'm going to be pretty bad at. That's why things like fight planning, if you guys have ever seen me sweat in pugs, my fight planning is really good. I can fight plan perfectly. But in the middle of a fight, my decision making is not so good. All right, I think we got to head out. I think I'm going to raid somebody here. Let me see here. Yes, I know who we're going to raid. All right, we are going to raid Skiesti because she's streaming, and she has she's getting an extra block because she's a super streamer. So we're going to raid Skiesti. I will see you guys later. Tell Skiesti I said hello. I might just jump in and just make threatening gestures right behind her. We might have a few minutes. I'm waiting for eye contact here so I can give a thumbs up like we got to go. Streaming scrims soon too. Is Commander X actually live right now? Like, is Commander X actually like live right now? Because I literally can't even pull up Twitch right now. Okay, what's the stream name? Commander X? Is it just Commander X, all one thing? It's just Commander X _. Okay, _. All right, we'll raid Commander X in a second then. So, Edel is waving at me. Should I blow a kiss? I won't blow a kiss. Well, you guys, I don't have to raid SKSD, but you guys can go watch SKSD if you guys don't want to. When is next stream, by the way? Tuesday, I think, should be the plan. All right, let's go. All right, y'all. Loves and kisses. I will see you guys later. Kiss him on the mouth? Maybe. Maybe. All right, guys. Tell Commander X to hello. I'll see you guys soon. Spy is out. I've never called. Why am I calling? Yeah, never mind.